Hi readers, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel, Books, Ink, and Paper. Today I'm going to do the end of the year book tag. I've filmed this a couple of times. I've changed my mind a couple of times. This is ridiculous, but I'm going to just tell you that I'm a mess today. So bear with me. Okay. So the end of the year book tag has been completed by a number of booktubers. So no one in particular stands out because I've watched a lot of folks. I guess the most recent one I watched was Eric Carl Anderson, but I've seen Melinda at A Web of Stories do it. I've seen Simon at Savage Reads do it. I think his mom did it too. Lots of people are doing the end of the year book tag, but I'm going to attempt to complete this for you today. And so let's get started. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Yes. The Many Daughters of Afong May by Jamie Ford. I started this. It's one of my 5-star predictions. I have not gotten back to it. I just left it for a long time and I need to. This one is a bit complicated in its setting and its timeline. So you're going forward, backward, in the future. Now it's all kinds of different situations with all of these people that are connected to Afong Moy. And it's a great premise. And I know Jamie Ford is a fantastic author. I've heard other people talk about it as well, but I just haven't gotten to it. So that's one of my 5-star predictions, and I really need to finish it. Do you have an autumnal book to transition you into the fall season? Yes, I do. I think Trespasses by Louise Kennedy is another one I got earlier this year. This one was nominated for the Booker Prize, I think, and it really intrigued me at that time, so I did pick it up, and I just haven't gotten to it. So this one is about a woman who she works at a pub. I think it's her family pub during the Troubles in Ireland, and she's kind of connected to this guy who's a barrister, and he's married, and they're in a relationship, and he's also perhaps on the other side of her or her family politically, and so it's gotten a lot of good buzz. It's not very long. I have really been looking at it a lot lately, and I think it would be a good autumnal read for me. By the way, I don't love the word autumnal. Let me just say it freaks me out a little bit. So I don't know why. I have a relationship to the word. So I'm just going to say autumn most of the time. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? Yes, I have been anticipating the new release of Nita Prose's second book in Molly the Maid series. The Maid was a 5-star read for me. I really loved it, and I love that character very, very much. So the second book is The Mystery Guest. It comes out, I think, later this month, and I am really hoping to be able to get my hands on that and finish it pretty quickly because, again, I really liked that first one. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? That's also fairly easy. So these are my other 2 5-star predictions. If I finish Afong Moy, then I will have gotten to all of those. And I really, really want to finish that by the end of the year. There's no question. I've started In Memoriam. I'm not very far into it, but I did also get it on audio from Libro.fm. So I feel like I could get through that pretty quickly. And hopefully this one, which is a big chunker, I can get through this too. So In Memoriam is historical fiction set in World War I. And the book that wouldn't burn is fantasy set in the future and is, I think, the first in a trilogy or at least a duology, I think. And it is about 2 people who are trapped or connected to a library, and they somehow end up being connected, and it sounds like it would be really good. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? My favorite book of the year, that would be a shock, I guess. But this one does stand out for me. The House is on Fire by Rachel Beanland. I got this earlier in the year as well. It was hyped pretty heavily, and I was seeing some people who had read it that really, really liked it. So I did end up getting it. This one is it's also historical fiction. This one is about a fire in a theater in, is it Charleston, Virginia? It's in Virginia at Christmas time. So it would be nice if I could read this around the end of the year because it's set in that period of time. And also it is, something that I have thought would be really, really good, but I don't know that I think it'll be 5 stars. So I guess if it was one of my favorite books of the year, it would definitely surprise me, but it could be. I mean, it's possible. And then the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? Absolutely. Yes. One of those plans is to stop buying books. So much. One of those plans is really, really to get clear on this list of books, this backlist, and these stacks of books, and to really do some fearless inventorying and purging, and just prioritizing some things. I was doing really well for a while. I was only buying books that I knew I wanted to keep, and then all of a sudden I was buying books just because they were shiny objects, and I had some birthday money, and I had some oh, I really want to get to that kinds of feels. And there's nothing wrong with going to my library, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And understanding if I'm going to like the book before I actually buy it would be a good idea. So that is a goal for me, is to use my library more next year, but I am also thinking about some other things too. So I will be finishing those up by the end of the year. It's one of my favorite times of the year, not just because the weather changes, but also because it's sort of a reset in the season of fall. And it's sort of like an anticipation of one of the, nicest, happiest times, the most wonderful time of the year. Right. And also I love the first part of a new year. It feels like the new year goes a little slower in the beginning than it does right now. And it also feels like it's just everything's new and fresh and possible. So truly excited about new year goals, and excited about this year and how much I have enjoyed this time on BookTube. It's been fabulous, just fabulous. So thank you for watching. Feel free to do this tag if you haven't done it already. So consider yourself tagged by me. Again, you can search for the end of the year BookTube tag, and you will find tons of folks who have already done it. And I would love to see what you are putting forward as well. So tag me if you want in your video so I can make sure that I take a look at it. And as always, happy reading. Bye.